All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are here for the 12th and final game for the Tennessee Vols football season, and I am tired, boss. I am tired of watching this offense play. Um, it's kind of been a disappointing season, honestly. We're 7-4 right now. More than likely, we'll go 8-4 unless something very, very bad happens this coming week against Vanderbilt. Don't foresee that happening, but we'll get more into that. But just a really hard season offensively, in particular. Defense, about kind of what I thought we would be. A little bit improved, but still not that great. But offensively, a team that has averaged 11 games into this year, 30 points a game, and last year we averaged 46 points a game. Joe Milton has struggled mightily at times. He has had good spots. He has had a couple games here and there where he has played well, but overall, Joe has really struggled. He doesn't have the pocket presence really that we need for this offense. He doesn't have the touch on the football that he needs to have for us to be successful. And honestly, I don't know if Joe is really the leader that we need. I feel like Joe's a great guy. I don't think he's a bad teammate, but I don't really feel like he has that eye of the tiger that Hendon Hooker had. Now, that being said, it's not all Joe's fault. Receivers have played bad at times. We've had injuries on the offensive line. And this team overall has just been decimated by injuries. Just a short list of players here that are gone for the season: Brew McCoy, Dante Thornton, Keenan Peely, Arian Carter, Andre Carrick, Kamal Haddon. These are all very big contributors that we have lost for the season, and we didn't have the depth of an Alabama or a Georgia, and so it's really hit us hard that we didn't have these players, especially in certain positions where we weren't as deep, like linebacker. But anyway, let's break down this Tennessee versus Vanderbilt. Tennessee is 7-4. Vanderbilt is 2-9. Last game for both these teams, Tennessee lost to Georgia 38-10. Vanderbilt lost to South Carolina 47-6 a couple weeks ago. Vanderbilt was on a bye week last week. Vanderbilt has regressed this year. They had a couple of their best players hit the portal in the offseason, and playing in the SEC, it's really hard to improve. It's hard, especially with how Vanderbilt takes their football program seriously. They don't pour the money in it like a lot of the other programs, so Vanderbilt's already at a disadvantage, and Vanderbilt has struggled. As I go into the stats, you will just see how Vanderbilt has really struggled this year offensively, defensively, and they're just not a very good football team. The strength of schedule for these two teams: Tennessee, 11 games into this season, has the 8th hardest schedule so far. Vanderbilt has the 68th hardest schedule so far into this season. Now let's look at a little bit more of the stats offensively and defensively. Let me back up here. I'm sorry, I got ahead of myself there. Let's look at the spread in this game. So Tennessee is a 27-point favorite in this game. Big favorites. Even as bad as Tennessee has looked the last couple weeks, Vegas sees Tennessee as still big favorites. Now let me get into the stats on this game offensively and defensively. Tennessee scoring offense versus Vanderbilt scoring defense. Tennessee's scoring offense is 47th in the country, averaging 30 points a game. Like I said earlier, we averaged 46 points a game last year, 30 points this year. Vanderbilt scoring defense is just horrendous. They're 123rd in the country, giving up on average 35 points a game. So really struggled this year. Vanderbilt has defensively. Tennessee's total offense versus Vanderbilt's total defense. Tennessee's total offense is 27th in the country, averaging 438.6 yards a game. Vanderbilt total defense-wise, is 128th. They're giving up 440.2 yards a game. So as I'm talking these stats, as I'm going over these stats, you can see Vanderbilt does not have a very good defensive ball club. They have struggled doing anything defensively. Tennessee's rushing offense versus Vanderbilt's rushing defense. If there's anything to say this year that's been pretty good, it has been Tennessee's rushing offense. They've struggled mightily the last 2 weeks against good opponents, though. A lot of that is due to the injuries up front with the offensive line and Joe Milton's inability to hit open receivers or the receivers to catch the football when he does throw it to them. Put a lot of pressure on them. Tennessee is still 11th in the country. They are still averaging over 200 yards rushing a game at 205.7 yards. Vanderbilt's rushing defense is 108th. They're giving up 176 yards rushing a game. Tennessee has a massive advantage in that. It will be interesting to see just how much Tennessee can take advantage of that with Spraggins being out. That was another name that I didn't even put on the list. Spraggins is out this year as well. So anyway, now let's look at the Tennessee passing offense versus the Vanderbilt passing defense. Tennessee is 58th. They're averaging 232.9 yards a game passing. Vanderbilt is 121st. They're giving up 264.2 yards a game. I hope Milton can, do damage on that passing defense of Vanderbilt. Just horrendous. It's basically like throwing on air against that bunch. I've watched them, and they're not stopping anybody this year. People are wide open. Vanderbilt cannot stop anybody, really rushing or passing defensively. Tennessee in this game will not have Thornton still, so you've got Caleb Webb, Nimrod, you've got Keaton and Squirrel White that he'll have to throw the ball to. Hopefully we can end this season on a good note and, maybe throw for over 300 yards, I hope. All right, let's flip the page here and let's talk about the scoring defense of Tennessee. Tennessee's scoring defense versus the Vanderbilt scoring offense. Tennessee's scoring defense is 39th, they're giving up on average 21.8 points a game. And Vanderbilt's scoring offense is 96th in the country. They are only averaging 22.7 points a game. Really, really bad. That's not a lot of points. Like I said, Vanderbilt is 2-7. They've struggled this year. They struggled to put up points on the board, and they've struggled to keep points off the board. I mean, they're giving they're basically there's a 13-point discrepancy there. They're giving up 35 points a game, and they're only averaging 22 offensively. So that's really bad. Tennessee definitely has the advantage on that. Tennessee's total defense versus the Vanderbilt total offense. Tennessee's total defense is 44th in the country, giving up 352.5 yards a game. Vanderbilt's total offense is 109th. Vanderbilt's total offense is 109th, only averaging 320.1 yards a game. So Tennessee has a massive advantage there. Now, I will say, this is one thing, the Tennessee rushing defense versus the Vandy rushing offense. This is the one unit that's really been solid this year, the rushing defense. I mean, outside of the Missouri game, this unit has really showed up every game and played well. The defensive line has done a really good job limiting, the rushing attack, and it's really hard to rush on this unit. But anyway, they're 24th, giving up 117 yards a game. And that's against the 8th hardest schedule. So they've done a really good job. Vanderbilt's rushing offense is 122nd. They are averaging 96.8 yards a game rushing, and that's really bad. That's not good at all. That will not win games in the SEC. Tennessee's passing defense versus Vanderbilt's passing offense. Tennessee's passing defense is 87th. They are giving up 235.5 yards a game. Vanderbilt's passing offense is 68th, averaging 223.3 yards a game. As far as Tennessee's passing defense, they were doing much better before Kamal Hadden went down in the Alabama game. They have gotten worse since that. There's just, this is year 3 for Heupel, and we just still don't have the depth back there we need. Still struggle to really... even in the Georgia game, there's many moments that receivers are just wide open down the field, and just nobody really there to contest throws or anything. So Anyway, that's where we're at with that. As far as penalties, this is probably where Tennessee has struggled the most in any facet of football this year. They're 124th, averaging 67.7 yards a game in penalties, and Vanderbilt is much better in that. They're much more disciplined as far as penalties are concerned. They're 12th in the country, giving up 38.82 yards a game. I'm sorry, they're averaging 38.82 yards a game in penalties. And then let's talk about turnovers. Tennessee is 29th, plus 4 on the season. So Tennessee's been pretty good on turnovers this year. Vanderbilt is 103rd. They're minus 4 in the turnover margin. Tennessee definitely has the advantage there. I mean, Tennessee's obviously the better team in this game. Tennessee is 27-point favorites. I don't think Tennessee will cover that. With a lot of these injuries, Tennessee is going to struggle. I don't think they're going to run it like we have this year. Spraggins is out. Don't even know if Carrick's playing this week. I think he's still out for the year. And I think, our other tackle is out again too. So we really got a patchwork offensive line group out there. Vanderbilt has had an off week to kind of get ready for this game. They will be refreshed. They'll be fresher for sure. And I mean, let's be honest, this is an in-state game, so Vanderbilt will definitely be up for this game. Vanderbilt is terrible. There's no getting around that. But I think Tennessee won't put up the points that they did last year. And I think Vanderbilt will keep it a little bit closer than most people think. The prediction for this game is I have Tennessee winning 34-17. Tennessee will close the year out at 8-4. It wasn't a disaster of a season, but it definitely was not the expectation that most of us in the fan base thought that we would have for this year. The injuries we've had and the laundry list of things that I explained earlier in this video are the reasons that we didn't have the season that we hoped for. But anyway, that's what I think is going to happen. Tennessee 34, Vanderbilt 17. And let's just see what happens, and hopefully we can end the season at 8-4 and get ready for a bowl game. But anyway, I appreciate you all watching this video, and let's go Vols.